friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies, welcome yet again to another episode of the Texas Conservative Channel, where on so many episodes past and so many episodes to come, you will have learned that I talk about the Democratic Party. I talk about them because I talk about the flaws. I talk about the flaws because I believe it's important for America to know, for those that don't already know. And here on the Texas Conservative Channel, I also talk about America's enemies. I talk about war and peace and things of that nature. Now, tonight I want to talk about the Middle East. And I want to talk about some of the history of the Middle East and maybe some ways and means that peace might actually be brought about. The elusive Middle East peace. You know, for so long, the Middle East peace was based on the possibility of a two-state solution, and it seems as though so many parties on both sides, thought that that was the way to go. And here on the Texas Conservative Channel this evening, I'd like to suggest that maybe that's not the case. I'd like to suggest that maybe the two-state solution is not a solution at all. A lot of the tension in the Middle East is based between Israel and Iran and Hezbollah, the proxy army that Iran has, trying to kill, Israeli citizens. Ahmadinejad, the leader of Iran, feels that the Holocaust never occurred. Let me say that again. The leader of Iran believes that the Holocaust, the massacre of all the Jews by Hitler, did not occur. He believes that it was a hoax. So Ahmadinejad believes that the Israelis have no legitimate right to the land that they're living on. He does not want to see this. And he feels that, the Israelis should be moved. That's what he wants to see happen. He either wants to see the nation of Israel destroyed, or he wants to see the Jews exterminated and killed, so that Iran can come in there and give all that land, to the Palestinians, so that Iran can claim to be the nation that finally came up with Middle East peace and saved the day for all the fellow Islamics. So, ask yourself this while you're watching the Texas Conservative Channel. Is he legit? Is Ahmadinejad legit? And I'm here to tell you that he's not, because the Holocaust did occur. Those Jews were killed. So this nut leader of Iran is no different than the people that flew the planes into the buildings. He's the head of a state. So that makes it even more dangerous. So, all through the course of these years, the tension between Israel and the Palestinians, and Israel and the Hezbollah, and the tension between the United States and Iran and the other Arab nations has to do with this. So yes, here on the Texas Conservative Channel, I am here to offer the world my own peace proposal. I declare the idea of a two-state solution dead. And there's really only one way that there will ever be peace in the Middle East, and it's the only way catastrophic war could be averted. And that would be the exodus of the Palestinians from the Israeli area. And when I say the Israeli area, I'm talking about from the Jerusalem area. All the Palestinians need to move from the West Bank and Gaza. Now I know these are hurting people, and I know they feel that they're living in an unjust society, but they keep killing Israelis. The Palestinians can't lay claim to land that was never theirs anyway. They have no room to bitch about the Israelis and their settlements, because it's not Palestinian land. The United States taxpayers purchased that land for the sake of the Israelis, not for the sake of the Palestinians. So it would be best for the world if indeed all of the Palestinian people moved out of the West Bank and Gaza. Now, based on what I've heard out of Ahmadinejad, I think that since Iran is the main Islamic republic in the region, I believe that they should finance this mass exodus. Iran, to show that they really want peace, if Khomeini you know, the supreme leader of Iran, and Ahmadinejad, the puppet president of Iran, really want to see peace, then they'll disband Hezbollah. They'll quit funneling arms through Syria. They'll quit all that bullshit. And then the rest of the world could actually believe that they're legit. Until that happens, it's not going to be the case. So Iran needs to finance this. Iran needs to finance the mass exodus of the Palestinians out of the West Bank and Gaza. It doesn't have to be just overnight. We can understand that the Iranians are incompetent in their thinking. We understand this. We understand the Islamic government is flawed in Iran. That's why we'll give you 6 months. 6 months for Iran to come in with planes, trains, and automobiles and move all the Palestinians the hell out of the eastern Mediterranean area. Move them into Iran, move them into Jordan, move them into other places, whatever the hell you got to do, because the two-state solution is dead. And that way, the Israelis are not rocketed anymore. And that way, they're not threatened. The Israelis can have Jerusalem, their capital. They can live in peace. The Palestinians can go mingle with other Islamic people who think like they do, rather than trying to live with the Israelis. All the Palestinians should move the hell to Iran, because you all think the same damn way anyway. You know, so I urge the supreme leader of Iran to get up off his ass and accept this Texas conservative peace proposal, because I mean, if this does not occur, what's the other thing that's going to happen? Well, you know, war is going to take place. War in the Middle East is going to take place between Iran, Israel, and the United States. You know, the Palestinian and the tension with the Palestinians is going to cause the Iranians to attack Israel or do something of that nature. If they keep building nuclear weapons, then obviously they're going to be attacked themselves. So why are the Iranians doing this? No, if we don't move the Palestinians out of the eastern Mediterranean area, then the United States is going to end up nuclear destroying Iran. If Iran keeps trying to get nuclear weapons, its only destiny is to be destroyed by the United States. Are y'all hearing me? Are you hearing me in the Middle East? Are you hearing me, Ahmadinejad? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me, Supreme Leader of Iran? This is serious. If I am laughed off, if y'all laugh off this Texas conservative peace proposal, the world is headed toward war, and we will be unable to avert it. You know, there's no way. If Iran's basically got to do two things as far as I see. They've got to finance the mass exodus of the Palestinians out of the eastern Mediterranean, lock, stock, and barrel, and ensure the safety and security of the Israeli country. If that does not take place, then in the end, based on Iran's actions, Iran's probably going to be destroyed by nuclear weapons. That's probably what's going to take place. They're going to kill Americans and continue to do it. They're going to lie, steep, and chill, and then they're going to be killed. The Iranians are going to be killed because of what they're doing, and it doesn't have to be that way. The world can come right here to the Texas Conservative channel and take serious this Texas Conservative peace proposal. For what else are we to do? Are we going to sit back and let the world end in nuclear destruction? Or are we going to try to do something about it? Are we going to try to do something about it so that the world can have legitimate peace? Think about it, folks. And while you're thinking about it, come back to the next episode of the Texas Conservative channel.